Right then, follow me along this little track. It might be overgrown. I normally do this one in the winter. Still skirting the quarry, but up higher now, above it. But it might be too overgrown for me to walk that far. Apparently they have, one other reason I've come up here is apparently they've been cutting off parts of the wood for the lumberjacks, for the people who are coming in and cutting the trees down. So I haven't been up here for a couple of weeks actually. I knew it was coming, that the felling of trees would start happening. They do it after the birds have finished. And the thing is, my little sparrows are back, and I think to myself, I just wonder if the birds are nesting again because we've had such a warm time. I mean, today, this could be spring, to be quite honest, this sort of weather, or May even. It's mild, look, not a leaf is fluttering. It's mild, it's gentle. We've got blue sky, we've got no wind. It's autumn, first week of autumn. Still going to be ticks and other creatures flying about. That's one route I go on sometimes. I go up round there. Well, I thought I might go down lower today. Oh, there's a squirrel. Hi, squirrel. It might be impassable because I think they're allowing some areas to get overgrown, to tell the truth. I don't think they really want people up here. These elite people. They want it. The small group of people that are cutting down the trees and ripping up habitats and places for wildlife. They're the people that this is their mission. Their mission is to expose the Hillfort. This is the only wood we've got, by the way, around here. Weston-super-Mare. This is our only wood. And we should be protecting it, not destroying it. But I've been walking here for quite a few years. I first explored all this with the little dog called Brandy that we had. Family dog, beautiful dog. I would class that dog as the best friend I've ever had. Actually, I can say that. That dog was so loyal, so beautiful, and I hated it when she was passing. She looked at me as if to say, "Can you rescue me, Jill?" And I couldn't save her. It was horrible. It really was horrible. Well, it took me 3 or 4 years to get over her. I mean, oh my God, the first couple of weeks were horrendous for grief. I mean, that dog had followed me everywhere. She wasn't my dog, she was Zara's. But Zara wasn't a walker. I used to take her out with me. When I had the van, she had her own special harness that she felt so proud to wear. Her RAC harness she wore in the van. So I could take her down, usually down to Breen, and go for a beach walk with her. Now, which way do you want to go now, Cheryl? Do you want to go down there? No, we're going to follow this route. That's right. Yeah, we're following here. I think I have been here in the last 6 months because I think they were cutting down a tree over there or something. And they were doing some more clearing here. Yeah, it's up here somewhere. Yeah, so I've got special memories of this wood, which I started exploring mainly in around about 2007 onwards, when I came to live in Weston-super-Mare, after recovering from the loss of lots of things in my life. lots of things all went at once, and I was just trying to cope with life, really, like survive, and it all went terribly wrong. And God, and everyone else had troubles as well. There was no one to sort of lean on to help or back you up or watch your back or nothing. It was like, you know, and then people used to make, oh, she ain't got nothing, look, she lost it, oh, you know, and all that. And they, instead of thinking like, you know, why was I in that condition, in that position, it was, oh, you know, it was knocking me for losing stuff. And it certainly hadn't been an easy time at all. No way was it easy. Right, now, because I know this is a right angle here, and you just go up there, I'm going to go up through this way. Anyway, I don't want to go on too much about that, but sometimes I have to go over it to say, where have you got to now, Sheila? And, well, materially not very well. Not really. I'm surviving still as a pensioner, getting older. And living in my own flat, my flat, in a shared building with lots of other people who have got lots of issues. We've got our own flats. Some are just like bedsits. Everyone's in there with a story. A story of life, survival, loss. But when you've got everything, people who've got everything, they don't really know. They can think they know. They don't. And they don't really care either. So what I found, you're seen as baggage. Whereas if you've had what you call, I mean, I have had success, of course I have. But people tend to pick on the stuff what went wrong. You know? Academically, I had a lot of success. I strove, I tried my best in this society. To do everything. I got married, I had the kids, I had the car, I had the house. And I've done all that just to get trod on. Trod on, spat on. Hard. People, well, we don't want to hear that, Gene. We don't want to know any of that. You know what I mean? You ain't allowed to talk about it. Suffer in silence. And I am okay. Because I'm a flipping survivor, mate. So I am okay. I get my down times. I reflect. This is my reflective journal, don't forget. Sometimes I do have to reflect on the past issues, because they certainly contribute to what's going on with your life. But what I notice, people keep knocking you down. So every time you try and get up and try and make a positive contribution or something like that, it's never good enough. And they really don't want it. They really don't want to know. So you get abandoned, really. You get discarded. And that's hard then. And then you do turn into the hermit. I've become a hermit and I don't mind it. In fact, I'm looking back in my whole life. I think I've been a hermit since I was probably 3 years old. Although I'm very gregarious as well. And of course then, when you become a hermit and you live on your own, you must be a narcissist. Now my argument is, if there is such a thing as narcissism, everybody's one. Everyone is looking out for themselves at the end of the day. Right? And a lot of people tread on others. I always say, well, look at yourself before you throw the first stone. Or something like that, innit? Yeah, this is my reflective journal. So like I said, I do sometimes reflect on stuff. So I always say I had it all, lost it all. But I didn't lose it because I wasn't caring or I didn't try. Or through ill health, I've always kept healthy. I've kept the basic stuff going. Exercise, proper food, although I like naughties as well. I do like cream cakes. I like the occasional glass of wine. Well, that hit me head then. Oh, just hit me head. Probably get a blood clot now. Funny, I ducked as well. Misjudged it. It wasn't too bad a hit. I'm cutting stuff up there. Well, I'm going around the edge today because I'm not quite sure what they've done inside the wood. So I'm doing the fringe. Yeah, so basically, I don't mind being a hermit either. Like I said, I think I've been one all my life, but I've had to participate in society en route. You know, I have had to go to school. I had to go to nursery when I was very young. I wonder if we ought to take this a path along there, Shell. No. Yeah, get up there. Yeah, I had to go to school. I went to Brownies. I had my own gang. I was very participatory in many things. I wasn't shy in coming forward. In fact, I was probably bossy and loud-mouthed. You'd get a punch in the gob if you argued with me. It wasn't timid. No way. I had 4 older sisters. I had to stick up for myself. Yeah, but I had to join in with society. Of course, my mum was very good. I wish she'd lived longer, educating me about politics and stuff, you know, and how we're really born free, but then we have to fight for equality. Yeah, my parents. Yeah, I was orphaned young-ish, really. I think I was about 37 when my dad died. I was 14 when my mum died. And then I moved around a lot. You know. I was a pre-nursing cadet in a mental hospital when I was 16. And that's a story all on its own. I did that because I could get somewhere to live, and I got paid and I got fed. And that was in my mind at 16. Because I did not want to live with my sister and all her issues with her marriage. I was really unhappy when my mother died. Nobody ever counselled me. No one said, "You're all right, Sheila." I just had to get on with it. It was hard. It was bloody hard. So of course walls start going up, and then you start getting issues yourself. You know, men come along and things like that, you know. You're exploring your sexuality when you're young. Falling in love, thinking you didn't know you were being taken advantage of or being abused even when you were very young. Because you saw it, someone caring for you. Because you're vulnerable. I had nobody. I can remember my first Christmas away from home. I was 16 and I was going up to the restaurant with all the nurses that were working that day to have Christmas dinner, sat at the matron's table. I never saw my family for 3 years. My sisters. And the distance started to grow and grow and grow. And then, of course, people say, you know, I became the black sheep. And people would say, "Oh, that's just Sheila." You know? And I was trying to cope with life. And, yeah, I didn't have anybody. I had some close friends. They're all bloody dead as well now. My friend Helen, who looked after me a lot when I was in the nurse's home, I did have people looking out for me for the first year in a way, even though I had to have Christmas in the mental hospital. I'd say it was good education for me though, working in the mental hospital at a young age. I certainly now I know that I can understand people's mental health. I even recognise people with their issues, it's but I didn't want to pursue it because mental hospitals for me were like prisons. Looking how they treated the patients, I really didn't see people pinned down, injections jabbed in their bottoms, drugged up to the eyeballs on Nalgexil. These people were. I didn't see that they were being helped. It was all the chemical kosh back then and physical restraint. They only just stopped doing lobotomies at Moorhaven when I was a cadet there, living in the nurses' home. But it was an eye-opener for me, and I met some very, very intelligent people that have always kept my brain alive, and I seek them out now. When I come across somebody, a critical thinker, I identify with them straight away. They might see me as beige, irritating, slow and boring, because that's because I'm absorbing them. I don't always expose elements of myself right away because I'm interested in them. So I sort of, and I can come over still as the dumb blonde, because women weren't expected to think as well. Don't forget the era I come from, or enjoy sex. There was all that repression going on. But I met these critical thinkers in my life, and some very, very early parts of my life I met them, who started to help me think myself out of the box. But of course, when you become a thinker like that, it doesn't always help you. Sometimes ignorance is bliss, isn't it? Yeah, and I did educate myself. I did my A-levels. I didn't always get brilliant results because I didn't have a very good education. And I was disturbed at 14 when my mother died. And I kept thinking I had to prove myself all the time, because I think my sisters thought I was sick. Actually, not Jude, but she's passed away. She's gone as well. So many have gone that were close to me. So sometimes I can be a bit overpowering when I find somebody who I identify with. And in the end I lose them because I'm too overpowering, I think. I'm so absorbed by them that they run away. And when I was a nurse, people say, "Oh God, if I got to work with Sheila," or they would say, some people would say, "Oh, what are you on?" "Nothing." I said, "I'm on life." Yeah, I got that a lot. "What are you on, Sheila?" And I used to try and enjoy work, sing and dance at work. I was a nurse, and yeah, watch your back. Don't make an error. Don't make one mistake. They're on you like a flipping pack of bloody wolves. Yeah. The caring society does not exist in the NHS, I'm afraid. The staff don't always look after each other. And, I did my education. I still do learning because I'm into family tree, as people who know me. And through family tree, it brings you up with archaeology, history, geology, geography, everything. It's like a big education when you're looking for your ancestors, where they lived, what they did, what were the times, what was the culture. So I still get a lot of stimulation of my brain through doing my tree work. Anyway, folks, I'm going to start taking some photos, which I haven't done for ages. I've been talking, and you'll all be bored stiff. But over there is Breen Down. I haven't walked over there for a year or so. There's the Bristol Channel out there, and the sea coming in to lap the shores of Weston-super-Mare, which is down there. So I'm just going to start taking some photos now. Just a little reflection of the morning. Over and out, everyone.